Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life, with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome back to the JP podcast. This week, it's me, it's your host, it's JP, it's Jess Paul. I am here as your manifestation mentor, your spiritual bestie, all the great things to help you manifest a life that you love. And I'm so happy we're back. I actually just love sitting down to record these podcast episodes. You know, when you feel like you're just in that space, in that like safe space where you're just so ready to pour your heart out and chat to you guys. And I appreciate you all so much. So guys, this week we're diving into an episode that again is part of what I've kind of been through or kind of come out of a stage in my life, a cycle in my life. And I want to talk about honoring this stage. And it's really like what I call it is a lull period in your life where we're constantly evolving, guys. We're constantly moving forward. We are always in control of our up level. And I'm going to talk about that in today's episode. But also we go through a very like cyclic life where we're going to have points where we're not actually vibing at that point where things are flowing in every fucking second and, you know, we're powerful manifestors. We're always powerful manifestors, but we're going to have those periods that we need to stop. And so I want to talk about those lull periods and how actually they're the most fucking magical periods of your life. They really are. And we can get in the wrong mindset over these periods in our life because we think that we're not moving forward and we think that we're not progressing, but we need to shift up our perspective on it. So I want to talk to you guys today about it because this is all part of your up level. This is all part of becoming the best version of you and manifesting every fucking thing you want into your life. You gotta honor the contrast. You've got to know the polarity in life, and it's amazing. So that's what we're going to chat about in today's episode. But first, let's dive into our sponsor, which is, of course, the 6-week money mindset course that I brought out. This is my 6-week course where we are going in, we are unblocking every single limiting belief you have around money. We're clearing out that negative money energy, and we're just aligning you with the frequency of wealth and abundance and success and money flow. And like, I'm an actor, guys. Like, I've come from a community of creatives and I've got so many creatives that follow me too, but I'm also an entrepreneur and I've got lots of business owners that follow me as well. What you guys need to know is that this course is for everyone. This is vibration that we're teaching. This is like, these are laws of the universe. These things, you know, are there for everybody. It's a law for a reason. So anybody that is interested in up-leveling their wealth mindset, this is the course for you. So you only have November, guys, to get in on the sale price right now. I am currently offering 10% off this course just for November only, because when we get into December, that's when we're going to go in on the live calls with me. You guys that know, I just go in on my coaching calls with you guys, and I love it. I love the fire. So to find out more about this, the link is in my show notes. It's at the top of my show notes. You just click that link. You can read all about it. And I have also been talking to lots of you in my emails and in my DMs about payment plan option, because this is also very much available for you. I make this as completely accessible as I can. So basically, we figure out the best option for you in terms of payment, because listen, we know if you want this, if you want to learn more about money, then you've got to let go of your money. But it's always that catch-22 where it's like, but what if I don't have the money? And this is why I'm really flexible with all of this. So I like chatting to you all. Never be afraid to drop me a message. And if you are still sitting on the fence about this, then I actually am hosting a free money mindset event on the 21st of this month at 8 p.m. GMT time. And we're going to go in on what this all actually means, what your money mindset actually is, and cover some of your money blocks and open up the floor for you to ask all the questions that you want about the course, about getting in on the magic. So get yourselves signed up to that free event if you want to be in on it. And I'm just so excited to get started with you all. And I'll continue chatting to you all inside the DMs. So, a little life update then before we get into today's episode. And I was actually away last week with my family, which was lovely, but also it was tough at the same time. I've been, we've had family stuff going on for a while, but it's all good. And the whole time I was obviously creating and launching this brand new program for you all and continuing to shine my fucking light, because that's what we do. That's what we do best in this community, right? We just blind people with our fucking light. I had a few messages, I had a few people actually being a little bit judgmental, like that happened. But listen, guys, like this is what happens when you up level. This is what happens when you start showing up again. Like you're going to be in that potential to be hurt, but also the potential to be the most fucking successful you've ever been. So this is part of the up level. So I've been it's been like a good and kind of like a weird bittersweet time for me the past week. But also another life update is that I am actually producing this new film. So this is another side to me, another string to my bow, is that I'm a producer, and I'm actually producing a new short indie film in Manchester. We've got our cast together now, we have our crew together, it's all very exciting, but we've actually just launched a crowdfunding page because we want this to be the best frickin' production that we've ever done. So I actually will link this as well. I'll link my other Instagram page for those of you that are actually interested in all of my work that I do as an actor, a producer, a writer, a creative. Like, if those of you are interested in it, then you can go ahead and follow that Instagram account. And if you want to contribute to the crowdfunding, you're actually getting lots of amazing bonuses when you do. Like, basically, you'll be in on the credits. Like, you'll be getting like hoodies sent to you. Like, there's so much involved in that. And that's a whole other thing that maybe I should do a whole post on in itself, because I feel like we're going to go off on a different tangent right now. But if you do want to go and check it out, or you want to go and follow me over on my other Instagram account, I will link it in my show notes, and hopefully see some of you there. But yeah, so they're my little life updates. Now let's get into today's episode. So I want to talk to you about these lull periods that we have in our life. Basically, these periods that where we don't feel like we're attracting that much. We don't feel like there's a lot going on. We might see other people in our lives like, vibing really fucking high and like calling all these things in, and you're sitting there like, why is this not happening for me right now? Like maybe you have been in that stage in your life where you've been, calling things in, but there's also cycles that we go through. And personally for me this year, I've been through one of those stages where it's been like a lull period. There's been a lot of shadow work going on. There's been a lot of I would probably call it like a dark night of the soul period, for all my spiritual besties. Like it was very much a time where I had to reassess a number of things and work through a number of things, and it was exhausting to say the least. But listen, at the same time of all of this, guys, like I was still creating, I was still manifesting, I was still moving through, because we're always evolving, we're always up leveling. But it's actually like, it was only the other day when I kind of sat back from this launch that I've just done for the first time in like a year. Like literally, guys, this is the first time I brought out a new program in about a year. So it's huge. It's actually such a big deal. But I sat back from it all and I was like, hang on a sec though, let me just look at that period of my life that I've just been through, because that period that felt slow and draining and stagnant in a way at the time was actually one of the most magical fucking periods because of how much I grew. So here's the thing. You don't grow, you don't evolve during your times of the utmost success, right? You don't evolve during those times. Like, they're great, and that's what we're all striving for and we're all aiming for. But in life, there's an equal amount of contrast with every up level you have, and every amazing thing you manifest into your life. Polarity exists, and that just means for all the light in your life, there's also darkness. And, this is one phrase that I remember when I first started my spiritual journey. And I got this download, I got this message through a meditation and then through a dream I had. And it was about basically how I had to find the light within my darkness. And, you know, that phrase sticks with me so much. It's actually something I talk a lot about inside my Mindset Miracles and Manifestation Academy. Because, you know, if you're not like able to be fully okay with the darkness, if you're not able to be fully like appreciative of those lull periods, those dark periods in your life, you can't appreciate the success. Like, polarity exists for a reason. It exists so that you can appreciate and love every aspect of your life. And basically moving through this and like kind of reassessing and actually figuring out that this has been like one of the most magical periods. And again, I felt like this when it was 2020. And that was when my ex-boyfriend left me. And a lot of you guys know this story. Like, it's kind of how I propelled myself into like huge success in my life and in my business and in my finances and, you know, calling all the money in, everything like that. Because it was the biggest period of growth for me, like fucking huge. And like that as well is like it's kind of a big deal. It's a big deal when you're broken up with someone that you've been with for 5 years. It's a big deal if you've gone through something like grief or loss or death in your life. It's a big deal if, you know, you've gone through like a loss of a job or, you know, a big shift in your career. Like these are all big deals. But also, guys, what you've got to know is that this cyclic life, it happens all the time. So it doesn't have to be these big, huge things that are causing you to evolve. It's little things as well. It's these little things. For me personally, I think one of the biggest reasons why I evolved so much this year in comparison to 2020, which was like a whole new level, but this felt a little bit different for me this year. And it was because I got very, very ill physically and I ended up getting toxic shock and my body was shutting down. My body was completely shutting down. I was in hospital for ages. And this only happened, guys, back in April this year. And it was like one of the biggest lessons I've ever had in my life about, you know, physically healing. And that's also something that I'm going to dive into on the podcast, like a whole episode on how your mindset really helps with that physical healing. But like for me, it was just such a huge lesson. And after that, it wasn't even like during that period that was the hardest. It was afterwards. It was the healing process afterwards that was the hardest for me. And there was moments in that time from April till now where I have felt like, oh my God, I'm falling behind. Oh my God, I'm not doing what I have done for the past 2 years. Oh my gosh, like my business is, you know, like I'm losing momentum. They're the sorts of feelings that I had during this time. And it was only when I actually had this new wave of inspiration. And I think, again, there was an episode, a couple of episodes back where I was like, something's changed, right? It was only when I had that like new wave of inspiration that I was like, well, duh, it's my fucking choice. My up level is my choice. I get to make the damn decision. So these lull periods, you've got to look at them and go, they are fucking magical because you get to grow in those periods. That, like, if I hadn't have got ill and been through what I'd been through this year, I would not be in this position right now where I am so ready to go. This is an analogy that I use with a lot of my clients. If you think of, let's say you've got like a piece of string and you've pulled that piece of string out and you're holding it at both ends. And at one end of that string is all that shit that you're going through, or that really lull, stagnant period of your life that nothing much seems to be happening, but you are learning lessons in that time. And then on the other end is all of your success. Now, if you, on that end where all the shit is happening, you just watch that expand, what happens on the other side of the string, guys, is that your success is expanding too. They're both expanding at the same time. So basically, the more shit you go through, like the better chance you have of like a fucking amazing life. Which is why, you know, when my ex-boyfriend left and I went through such a terrible time, a very low place, I quantum leaped to this like whole new timeline of success and magic and money and everything, right? But this happens all the time. So you're like, those little things in life, for me, again, getting ill this year, that was expanding on that side of the string. But also what was expanding was a whole new identity that I have learned, a whole new level of authenticity that I have learned this year. And especially when showing up in my business. Like you guys, my OG listeners, like you guys that have known me since I started my business, you will like have known how much I've evolved. This is why, like, whenever I say, whatever course I bring out, whatever program is new in my world, it's always through a fucking experience. It's always through what I have lived. It's never, I don't read things out of a textbook, guys. I actually, like, it really angers me when you've got these people that are like, oh no, but this is what the textbook says. No, like, you got to live your life, right? So everything that I create is through my experience. And you guys will know, like, how much I've evolved since I started my business. But again, like, I wouldn't have evolved in that way if it hadn't have been for these lull periods, right? I wouldn't have created my 6-figure business if it hadn't have been for my ex leaving me. I wouldn't have been able to launch this new program, this money mindset program, with like a whole other fucking identity if it hadn't have been for the fact I got really ill at the start of this year, right? Like, when I moved into this launch, and again, you might have noticed my energy shift on Instagram and online and stuff, because I even had a bit of time offline, like, this year. When I moved into this course, oh my God, it's a new wave. It's a new fucking wave. It's a new fucking level, right? And this is what our life is all about. And it's exciting because if you didn't evolve in this way, you might be successful to a certain extent, but you wouldn't feel it. You know, you might be manifesting things, but you got to feel it. That is success. It's the feeling, right? So basically, like, what I'm trying to say here is that these periods where it feels like nothing's happening, or it feels like there's a lot of shit going on, or, you know, you feel like you're falling behind. I think this is the main thing. It's that feeling of falling behind, watching everybody else do stuff, and you're not in a mindset or in an inspired place where you feel like you can. Those periods are fucking magic. They are the best periods of your life. And you've got to look at those periods with that perspective, because the more you get frustrated over those periods, the more you, like, kind of, you know, putting yourself down and being like, oh my God, but nothing's happening for me. Like, why is it not happening? Like, the more you do that, the less of the magic you actually get to experience. So this is what I discovered when I had this, like, fresh wave and this, like, new perspective, a lot of downloads in this time. And, like, I just look back on this period of, like, from April last year when I got ill till now, and I just think this has been one of the best periods of my life. Like 2020 was for me, right? It's been one of the best periods of my life because I've learned so much, and I get to show up in my business with a whole new level of authenticity. And now I'm moving to fucking LA and I'm doing all of these things. And again, it was all born through that period of my life. It was all born through the lull period. So for you guys that are maybe going through a lull period, for you guys that are maybe in that stage where you feel like you're falling behind, the plain and simple truth is you're not. You never are. As long as you are looking at these periods with the utmost, like, freaking inspiration and awe and positivity. Because here's another thing, right? There's not actually any such thing as high vibration and low vibration. You know, when people talk about, like, oh, you know, we've got to be high vibe to manifest, like, that's just bullshit, guys. You know, you can be in a quote unquote low vibration. Let's say nothing's happening for you, you've just been rejected, or, you know, something, it feels really quiet, you feel like you're falling behind. Those periods you can still look at in a positive light. You can still look at and be like, okay, well, this is great though, because I'm evolving, I'm growing, here's what I've learned, great, right? Or you can look at those periods and be like, oh my God, I'm so depressed, this is awful. Everything is dictated by you. This is why I always say, like, when we first off start my academy, or when we first off start any kind of program that I'm in with my clients, I'll say to you, it's not about being high vibe. It's about managing your vibration. Management, guys, it's all about management, right? So looking at these lull periods and with that mindset, with the mindset of this is helping me grow. Like, this is great. This is fucking amazing that I get to be in this space right now. Because when you're in that space and you can learn the most about yourself, and you can come out of that period being like, I know what I fucking want, I know who I fucking am. If you can come out of those periods feeling like that, nothing is going to stop you. Literally nothing. Nobody can, because your vibration is too sped up. So look at these periods with that mindset, with that mentality. These are the best periods of your life. And for me this year, it really has been. There's been so many lessons learned. There's been so much in-depth shadow work and like layers peeling back, which again, now I'm moving into my fresh new up level with this new launch I've just done, this new program I'm coming out, like this new coaching calls that I'm going to be on with like my new clients, these fresh faces, like all of this now is going to be the best up level of my fucking life. And I'll have more to come. But, you know, basically, guys, if I hadn't peeled back these layers this year, then I wouldn't have been in a position right now where I'm so freaking ready to go. And if I hadn't have looked at that lull period as a period full of magic rather than a period full of shit, then like I wouldn't be in this position right now. And I think the key is don't get stuck in this period. Don't get stuck. Don't stop feeling like you're stuck. Remember, there's no room for any victim mindset here, right? We're never stuck in these periods. We have the damn choice. We get to choose when our next up level starts. We get to choose when we take the action. We get to choose when the momentum starts again. Like, we have a say in all of this, right? So these little periods are like needed and necessary and there for your growth and fucking magic, but also you get to decide when the next up level begins, because we're constantly going through them in life. That's cyclic as well, right? And so I sat back the other day or the other week or the other month or whenever it was, and I was like, okay, well, I'm fucking deciding. Like, here's my choice, universe. I decide right now to create the next up level in my life. And then you take the action, you do the thing. It's always energy first, right? And this is what these lull periods are there for. They're there to help you create that energy in your life, to create that knowing in who the fuck you are and what you're doing and what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Those lull periods are there for you to create that energy, to build that fucking fire up in yourself again, so that when you do start showing up again and when you do start putting yourself out there again and start this next new up level in your life, you're ready for it. You know, it's always energy first and then action. This is what we mean about aligned action, right? We don't take action for the sake of it. If I had taken too much action this year, let's say in my business, because like this is the new thing for me right now, is this new launch that I've just done and this new program I brought out. If I had brought that program out earlier on in the year when I was going through this lull stage of shadow work and evolving, it wouldn't be the same thing, because I wouldn't have the right energy behind me. I have spent this year creating that energy, and I've been creating as I go. Like, you know, like I've been manifesting as I go, right? You know, I've been manifesting all sorts in like lots of different areas of my life, and, you know, like stuff has still been happening. You know, it's not like I've just been like on the sofa for the whole year, like not doing anything. Like shit has been happening, but you know, you've got to learn in yourself when the energy is actually aligned and when the right time is to start that up level again. And it's your fucking choice. You get to choose. So if you want to choose today, if you're like, actually, yeah, like fuck this, I want my up level now. I want the choice. Like I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to choose to take the action. Then that's your choice and you get to do it right now. So basically, guys, honor the lull periods. Honor these periods in your life where you're growing the most, you're evolving the most, and find the magic in those periods. Open your eyes up to the miracles. Like, that's one of the biggest things I always say. Open your eyes up to the miracles, because they're always there. And then when you feel like the time is right to move into your next up level in life, fucking choose it. Go for it right now. So that's your homework. Like, have a little look and reassess where you are in your life right now. And if you're ready for your up level, then do it. You know, like, go on the journey for yourself. And I hope this episode has helped. And again, I'm feeling all the like loving kick up the ass episodes at the moment. Like, they're all coming in hard. But like, if this has helped, like, obviously like share it on your Instagram, share it with someone else that you think would like benefit from this episode. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear your takeaways. And also know that you have this opportunity now for 6 whole weeks to get in on my energy, to move through this up level together. And this is the first time in a fucking year that you've been able to do this with me. And I'm so freaking excited to get started with you guys. These fresh faces that are coming in. I've got, you know, like new and old faces coming in on this new program, and I'm very, very excited. But remember guys, like everything is there linked in the show notes, so you can go and check out more of it for yourself. You can DM me with any questions that you have, email me with any questions about payment plan options, anything like that. But just know that this is like the time. This is the time to go in on shit like this. And I love that like I've moved into this up level now before 2023, because I always love starting in like the month of October. It's always, I don't know why, it's always the month of October for me that I love starting my new up level, because then when you get into 2023, you know, when it's like January and people are like, oh yeah, new me. It's like, nah, the new me already came in way before that. So I'm already like way ahead. And this is why I love to lead you guys through this like energy now rather than in January. So if you want to be in on it with me, then get yourselves inside my Mindset, Miracles and Money program, brand new 6-week course. Link is in the show notes, and I'll chat to you all soon. So much love, guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at @IamJessicaPaul so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.